My name is Ayla Whitmore. I live with my husband, Daniel, and our 7-month-old daughter in a small town near Warwickshire. The kind of place where people wave at each other on country roads and the milkman still knows your name. We'd bought our first home just before the baby was born, a modest 2-story cottage tucked behind a line of sycamore trees. Quiet, private, it felt safe, or it used to. It started simply, almost forgettably. Daniel mentioned getting a security system installed. Nothing fancy, just cameras for the front and back and maybe a motion detector. We'd heard from neighbors that there'd been a break-in a few villages over. We shrugged it off at first. But then the baby monitor crackled one night and we heard what sounded like whispering. When Daniel went to check, there was no one there. Probably interference, he said. So we called a local company that had left flyers in our mailbox, Cedar Tech Security. A young man came to install the system. Carl, friendly, polite, unassuming. The sort you'd almost forget the moment he left. I remember him smiling as he drilled the panel into the wall. "You'll sleep better now," he said, and for a while we did, until things began happening. First it was subtle, toys rearranged in the nursery, the back door unlocked when we were sure we'd bolted it, the baby's lullaby machine turning on by itself in the middle of the night. Daniel said I was just tired, sleep-deprived, seeing things. And maybe he was right, but then came the day I can't explain. It was a Tuesday. Daniel had taken off work early to drive me to a doctor's appointment in Stratford. Just routine checks for the baby, nothing serious. We were gone for a few hours. When we got back, the house felt different, the kind of wrong that prickles the back of your neck before your brain catches up. The TV was on, volume low. A documentary about the Yorkshire Ripper played on loop. There were dishes in the sink, a cereal bowl, some toast crumbs, a glass, half full. The smell of reheated stew still lingered. Daniel called out, half laughing, thinking maybe someone had the wrong address or we'd been burgled by the politest intruder in England, but nothing was missing. The door had been locked when we returned. The alarm armed. We checked the footage. There was nothing, just empty rooms. Static hum, no entry, no exit. That was the first time we called the police. They came, took statements, advised us to reset all the passwords for the system and keep the cameras running. "Probably a glitch," one of them muttered, though he looked unsettled. So did I. From then on, things got worse. A music box I didn't recognize appeared in the nursery. It played "You Are My Sunshine" when wound. Neither of us had bought it. The baby began waking at 3:17 a.m. every night, screaming, inconsolable, pointing to the corner near the wardrobe. We checked it, empty. But she wouldn't sleep unless the closet door was shut and the hallway light on. Sometimes I'd wake up with the eerie feeling someone was standing just outside our room. Not moving, just watching. I stopped telling Daniel. I didn't want to scare him. One night, after I'd fed the baby and put her back down, I walked past the landing and caught a glimpse of something on the stairwell monitor. It was quick, a flicker, but I swore I saw a figure standing at the foot of the stairs. Paused, like he was waiting for something. I went cold, rewound the footage. Nothing. One evening, Daniel was working late and I was alone with the baby. I swear, I heard someone breathing just outside the bathroom while I showered. Deep, slow. I stayed inside until the water ran cold. After that, I refused to be home alone. It all came to a head 2 weeks later. A package arrived. No label, just a box with our address and my name in shaky handwriting. Inside was a folded baby onesie, identical to one we'd lost in the wash months ago, and a USB stick. Daniel and I watched the video together, footage from inside our home. Not CCV, these were close-up shots. The baby sleeping, me napping on the couch, Daniel in the kitchen, all taken from different angles, some from the hallway, some from inside the nursery, one from our bedroom while we were asleep. We called the police. Again. This time they took it seriously. They traced the footage to an encrypted device and eventually linked it back to a terminated Cedar Tech employee. Carl. His real name was Carl Whitner. A quiet, soft-spoken man with no prior criminal record. But then the police found out something the company had buried. He'd been let go a year ago from another firm after a disturbing investigation. Allegations of inappropriate behavior with minors, Never proven, but enough to end his career. Cedar Tech had hired him without a full background check. And when he was caught installing hidden backups to client systems, feeds only he could access, they fired him quietly, told us none of this. Even after we reported what had happened, they didn't want the scandal. Carl had no connection to us, no reason, no grudge. We were just next. I can't tell you how violated we felt, like our home had been peeled open and studied, our routines memorized, our privacy dismantled piece by piece. They never found him. We moved 2 months later, new house, new security company, no internet-connected cameras, no baby monitor, just locks, lots of locks. But here's the part that haunts me. About a week after we moved, a letter arrived at the new house. Inside was a single photograph. It was me, taken through our old kitchen window months ago. I was smiling, holding the baby, stirring a pot on the stove. On the back, written in the same shaky handwriting, "You look happiest in the kitchen."